Okay, what we're going to be making today are actually traditional Ukrainian pierogies. It's actually a funny story. My aunt married a Ukrainian guy, and all growing up, they would make these things and do the Easter eggs and little traditional dresses and whatnot. But he was half black, and he looked very black. So growing up, I thought that Ukrainian people were black. So when I got older, it sort of confused me a great deal when I found out where the Ukraine was, because I always thought they were black, and I knew that black people came from Africa, but the Ukraine was like way over here. It just made no sense to me until, I don't know, until I was probably about 10. I didn't even know what was going on. But I loved other stuff. Okay, so what we're going to need for this, I've got 4 cups of flour here. We got 3 egg yolks, yeah. A cup of water and a little bit extra, and we have some salt. We're going to be making the dough here. From there, we're going to move on to making the filling. I'm going to be using mashed potatoes and cheese. Okay, so what we do is we make a little bit of a well in the middle here. Then we put in a nice teaspoon of salt. Yeah, we pour our eggs in here. And we just sort of dust over the top. You want to use a spoon at first because it's going to get messy. You could do this in your mixer if you want, or you could do this anywhere really. Okay. With the water, you want to add it in slowly. Don't add it all in at once because it'll make a mess. Basically, we're trying to just add enough water so that you get a nice dough. You want a nice dough that sticks together, but you don't want it too wet. Starting to incorporate. But whalers on them. Oh, sorry. I've been singing that all day long. It's a Futurama thing. Okay, you basically just keep working the water in and keep working the flour in. There we go. Now I have a bit of a curved cutting board. It's actually really good for this sort of thing. If you just have a regular flat one, you might want to do this in a bowl. Okay? Keep working with this until everything is incorporated into a nice bowl. I'm going to fast forward a bit. Okay, what we're going to be making today is actually Ukrainian style pierogies. I'm doing a cheddar mashed potato filling. There's a lot of different fillings. A favorite of mine, mushroom and onion, bacon and mushroom, anything. You can even do sweet ones, but I'm not a fan of those. Okay? So, there's about 4 large Russian potatoes that I've boiled up here. I salted the water, boiled them, the drill. And I've got about 4 cups of shredded cheddar. We just add that in. Ooh. Gotta love gravity. Okay. Give it a good sprinkle of salt. And a good sprinkle of pepper. Now this is just the filling. Okay, we just mash that all together. Oh, you have to leave the stuff cool down first because you don't want everything to get all ooey gooey just yet. Now, as far as the cheese goes, some people like cheddar. That's what I grew up with. Some people like a sort of cream cheese type thing. I'm not as big a fan of that. I like a sharper flavor. Also, if you like a smoother finish, you can use your mixer with this, but I don't. I like it sort of rustic and chunky. There we go. Okay, we have the filling here ready. Now let's make the pastry. Okay, now we're making the dough. We have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour in here. And I dropped my sour cream, so I cracked the bottom. We got 1/4 cup of sour cream. It's probably about as much as there was on the floor. A teaspoon of salt. Okay, sorry about that. A little technical problem with my regular camera. Use a fork just to get everything combined. If you need to add a little bit more water, that's okay. Basically, just keep adding the water until you're completely, combined. Some people do this right on the board, but I find that's way too messy. I'm going to keep doing this. I'll fast forward. Okay. As you can see, I got it all combined here. It's lost most of its stickiness, which is cool. Just take her, turn her into a floured board. Flour your hands. I want to give it a couple of kneads. Not a lot. You don't want to knead it too much. Just for a minute or two. That's good. Now that's got to sit for about 10 minutes or so to rest. Oh, I'm covered in flour. Anyway, that sits for about 10 minutes, and let's fast forward to that bit.
Go.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to roll this out until it's about 1/4 inch in thickness. Remember, keep everything well floured. You don't want to have it stick on you. There, that should be good. Okay, now we take your glass. Find one, pretty good rim on it, good size, and start cutting your forms. Ta-da! Oh, and FYI, I need to invest in better glasses. So basically, you go through and do all these up. Okay, we're going to skip forward to the part where I have a bunch of these done and yada yada. You ready? Okay, now, what we're going to do, basically you take the rounds like this, come a little stretch, just like so, and we take a spoonful of the filling, makes the medicine go down, sorry, and you just sort of push it down, and make our little half moons. From there, press it like that. I'll show you one more. Go through, give it a little bit of a stretch. Spoonful of filling. So you just push that down with your thumb. And there you go. Now, some people actually have a little device that does this. I could never imagine wasting that much money. From here, what we do is we boil these in a large pot of salted water and we fry them. Let's fast forward to that part.